Now, Matt Stafford's future with the Rams is up in the air. I got to tell you, for reasons I'm not sure anyone fully understands, but we now know what it'll take for him to leave LA. The Rams evidently want a first-round pick in exchange for the quarterback. Well, if you look at his season in two parts, Bruce, you know I like to at times when it fits my narrative. Makes total sense. The last 9 games of the year, that's a player worth a first-round pick. The first 9 games struggled a bit. Coach, are you buying that 37-year-old Matt Stafford would be worth a first-round pick?
No, I think this is a function of the Rams are looking at what they paid to get him. Okay, so what was it, 2-1?
Well, they gave up Goff and 2-1s, and the people looked at it like one of those ones you had to give them to take on Goff's contract,
right?
Because it was considered underwater. But
yeah, it's sort of like when I bought my house in New Jersey. I bought it high, and then when I went to sell it, I wanted to sell it high because that's what I bought it at. But the market didn't dictate that anymore, and because it was older and
the coach can't get over this.
It really has scarred me.
Yeah.
But I think the market is more in line with what the Jets paid for Aaron Rodgers, and I think that was 2 2s, which now Aaron was a year removed from back-to-back MVPs. Mm-hmm. So you could easily make the case if you're the Jets of he's closer to those back-to-back MVP years than he was the down year. So I get that, but that to me would be the high end of the Stafford market at 37, 502 sacks, wear and tear, inconsistent play. It's just whether the Rams can get their head around, hey, we paid so much for him, we should be given that much back for him.
I'm with Coach. No way he's worth a first-round pick. This guy, since he won the Super Bowl, he's 22-18. With a Super Bowl winning coach that we all know is a top-of-the-line coach. And here's some graphics. And Nick always talks about Brock Purdy without the Avengers. This is him since winning the Super Bowl without Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, 7-11, 15 touchdowns, 16 picks, and an 84 passer rating. Not good. And here's another one. We're going to compare him to Brock Purdy. Now, Brock Purdy, all Brock Purdy's people were injured last year. And look at his numbers are better across the board than Matthew Stafford. Well, we know he can play in the playoffs, though. He's gotten the team to the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, no, he's not worth it.
Before you go, Josh, tell me in my ear, what pick in the first round do the Rams have? I mean, I know it's in the 20s. I want to think of something real quick, but go ahead. I wrote it down. I can't find it.
Yeah, I'm with these guys. No, they're not getting the first round pick for Matthew Stafford. And I'm with Coach. I think their asking is going to be high to see what the best offer is going to be. And that's the way it should be. But Matthew Stafford, I think he's still a really good quarterback. He's I'm with you as it pertains to him being one of the top quarterbacks, like top 10 in the National Football League. I do think he's in that category. So they will get something if there's a biter.
So the Rams are drafting 26th. It's an NBA thing more than an NFL thing, but I wonder if it could come, which is swapping. Like, we give you Stafford and the 26th pick for the 11th pick. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's any scenario where they're getting the 3rd pick of the draft from the Giants. But I do wonder, you know what I mean? To move up, what's the cost to move from the mid-20s to around 10? That's usually about a future first. Like, I wonder if a deal like that could be worked out.
Something like that could make more sense if you're swapping picks in the first round. Usually, though, teams want to know that their guys on the board if they're going to make that swap. So sometimes that's a draft day.
Have to be like a draft day trade.
Yeah, it could be potentially a draft day trade.
All right, coming up next, a team that maybe could be a fit for Matt Stafford. Could be a fit. Going to test the free agent market. Raiders, Rams, Steelers, currently the co-favorites to be Rodgers' next team. Brew, out of those landing spots, what is the best option for Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know why the Raiders would do it. And I'm also looking at this as a Rodgers, Devontae Adams package. If I'm a team getting Rodgers, that's what I want Devontae with him. I'm going to say the Rams, if they were to move on from Stafford, because if I get Devontae Adams and I got him and Nacua with Rodgers, I think Rodgers, I wouldn't say he's maybe not as good as Stafford at this moment, but close enough. And you're in the NFC. That's the thing to me. So I like Pittsburgh too. I like the Rams better, but Pittsburgh, I think, a chance to make the playoffs, but they're not. Wouldn't give them a chance to win the AFC. So I'd say the Rams.
Look, I don't like any of these teams going after Aaron Rodgers, but if he were to land at one of these spots, I guess I would say Pittsburgh, because.
Why do you not like any of them?
So I don't like the Raiders because you just don't want to. You're not in a bridge type of a situation. Right. You're in a completely rebuild, so don't even waste your time. And then when you look at the Rams, you have a guy that's better than Aaron Rodgers, younger, and producing more as far as statistically, and knows the system already, and will comply and not be a problem. And then the Steelers. Look, they've been the team that's used to this bridge guy. Like, you went and got Russ because you were hoping. Obviously, he was only $1 million, so you've wanted to have a quarterback at least get you over the hump. That's the only option I feel like is available, which is why I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to retire if the Steelers don't come at him and approach him.
Oh, wow.
Of these three choices, I'm with you, Chris. I think it's the Rams. And the Rams, to me, Sean McVay has had a lot of players that have challenging personalities, and he's done a really good job of managing those guys historically. And I give him a lot of credit for that. And he's got the cachet and legitimacy of winning a Super Bowl, so he's got that component too. Offensively, they do a lot of creative things. They do a lot of different things. There are scheme things that fit what Aaron does. So I think that it wouldn't be that tough a transition from that perspective. And from Aaron's perspective, to be back on the West Coast, out in California, out of the cold, where he's comfortable, he's grown up, and I think that part might make a lot of sense for him too.
So you said retire, which it does not seem like he wants to retire. I think that he believes he can still play. Yep. And while I don't buy the reporting, I believe Diana Rossini's reporting, with no disrespect to the New York Post, but I guess it was a little disrespectful. I don't believe that Aaron Rodgers begged the Jets to keep him. Yeah, I think he wanted to be a free agent to be able to pick his own spot. If there isn't, do you think retire meaning done, or retire meaning I'm going to wait and see if somebody goes down, if there's a better option?
No, I think retire meaning done. I think he has too much pride to be an afterthought. Oh. Meaning, if he's not day one starter, or I'm not in the building because I have an opportunity to become the day one starter, then you didn't want me.
But if you had one of those late seasons where it's a really good team and their starter gets hurt, but they've got a legitimate chance to win, don't you think that would be
a different situation?
Possibility.
So that also does serve the ego too.
Correct.
Because then it's like I get to come in and
be the savior.
Yeah. I am still, unless there is really something to Tomlin wanting him, like in the Steelers, which I don't know if there is or isn't. I think he's going to end up in the AFC South. I think it's the Titans or the Colts. I think the weather, the dome in Indy, or Tennessee's obviously not a dome, but the softness of the division, the fact that he would, in my estimation, instantly be the most powerful person in either of those places, the no competition to start, like all of that, because I don't think he's done. Maybe he should be. It would be kind of a odd ending for a legendary player for one of those two teams, but I think that's where it could end up. USA-Canada tonight. Winner